नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम രാമ രാമ ഹരേ ഹരേ. ജയ രാധ മാധവ ജയ കുഞ്ച ബിഹാരി. ജയ ഗോപീജനവല്ലഭ ജയ ഗിരിവരധാരി. ജയ ജശോദനന്ദന ജയ വ്രജജനരഞ്ജന. जय जमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी. जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी. जय गोपीजनवल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी. जय जशोदनन्दना जय व्रजजनरञ्जना. जय जमुना तीरवनचारी जयो कुंज बिहारी. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधा माधव श्री राधे. जय निताय सचिनंदन निताय सचिनंदन निताय सचिनंदन गौर हरि. जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह. जय प्रभुपादा 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 श्रील प्रभुपादा। जय गुरुदेवा 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 श्रील गुरुदेवा। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Sunday feast program. So today's lecture is a continuation of the series called Demons in Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is the land of Krishna, and when Krishna manifested his pastimes there 5,000 years ago, in his childhood pastimes there were a lot of demons who appeared with the intent of killing Krishna. They were sent by this evil king Kamsa who happened to be the uncle of Krishna. But there was a prophecy that the eighth son of the sister of Kamsa, Devaki's eighth son, that is Krishna, he will kill Kamsa. So Kamsa had decided to kill every single child of Devaki. And he was unsuccessful in trying to kill Krishna. So he had tried from the very advent of Krishna, he had started sending demons to kill Krishna. So many demons had come and they were killed by Krishna. Without any weapons, Krishna just killed them. And an eminent acharya, spiritual teacher in our line, His Divine Grace Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he explains that the principal demons who are mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, of course there were many, many demons. In fact, every day there was a demon who was killed. But Parikshit Maharaj, who was listening to the Srimad Bhagavatam from the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami, he didn't have much time. He only had 7 days remaining. And he decided to give up everything and to spend all of that time, 7 days and nights, without any sleep, without any food, without any so-called rest. He wanted to hear Krishna Katha. And Shukadeva Goswami appeared there. Shukadeva Goswami is the son of Vyasdev. He started narrating the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Shukadeva Goswami was very well aware of Parikshit Maharaj's condition, that is, he only had 7 days remaining. And he describes the principal demons who arrived. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his writings, especially 2 books, Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita and Sri Krishna Samhita, these 2 books, he describes these demons represent what are known as anarthas. Anarthas means that which is not beneficial to a person, and they reside within us. These anarthas are present within us, and if we are to achieve the goal of life, that is obtaining Krishna Prema, then these anarthas must be removed. Athau Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Tata Bhajana Kriya, Atha Anartha Nivrittisya. So, there is a book called Madhurya Kadambini in which the stages are mentioned. That first it begins with faith, Shraddha. Then the next thing that happens is Sadhu Sangha, association with devotees. And the next step that a person undertakes is Bhajana Kriya. One starts worshipping the Lord with hearing and chanting. And the next step that happens is Anartha Nivritti. All the unwanted things in the heart has to be removed. This is a very, very important step in the progress of a person in spiritual life. Without Anartha Nivritti, one cannot make progress. These are stumbling blocks. That's the word that is used. Stumbling blocks means these are big obstacles in the path of bhakti. So, each of these demons represent an anartha that must be removed from the heart. So, in the Chaitanya Shikshamrita, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains all of this. So, we covered a number of these in the previous classes. So, I will just do a quick recap. So, the first demon or demoness who came to kill Krishna was Putana. So, Putana represents the fake guru who teaches bhukti and mukti, material enjoyment and liberation. So, that is the fake guru. real Guru gives Krishna Prema, love for Krishna, devotional service unto Krishna. The fake Guru will try to teach material enjoyment, enjoy your senses. Or he may say, you are God, so you enjoy. Or you get liberation. So, Putana represents the fake Guru. Shakatasur, or the cart demon, represents the load produced by old and recently acquired bad habits. So that's what Shakatasur represents. Then the next demon who is mentioned is Trinavrata, or the whirlwind demon. The whirlwind demon represents pride in being learned and the consequent use of faulty arguments and dry logic, the quest for liberation and association with such people. So if you associate with proud people who are proud of being learned, who use just faulty arguments, dry logic, like that, no love in their heart. They only have the pride. When there is pride, there cannot be love. For God especially. So, Trinavrata represents that anartha or unwanted thing. Then, pride stemming from intoxication with wealth, which breeds violence, illicit sex, and addiction to wine, and finally loose speaking and shameless brutality to other living beings, is represented by the Yamala Arjun trees. So there were 2 trees who were uprooted by Krishna. These 2 trees were cursed. They were actually demigods who were cursed to become the form of trees. And these 2 demigods were the sons of Kuvera, Nalakuvera and Manigriva. And Krishna, when he was tied to the mortar by Mother Yashoda, even in the bound up condition, he liberated these 2 personalities. So these 2, even though they were sons of demigods, they represent an anartha, or they represented an anartha. So what is that representation? They are representing pride stemming from intoxication with wealth. So that intoxication with wealth is very, very dangerous because it breeds. That intoxication with wealth will breed violence, illicit sex, and addiction to wine. So it will lead to other anarthas. So those are represented by the Yamala Arjun trees. Now, the next demon who was killed by, or who is mentioned, is Vatsasur, who came in the form of a calf to kill Krishna. So what is Vatsasur representing? Being controlled by greed and sinful activities caused by it. So greed is represented by Vatsasur. Then the next demon who came was in the form of a stork or a crane. He is known as Bakasur. False dealing due to deceit and cheating are represented by Bakasura. Without eliminating this, pure bhakti does not appear. Now comes the demon we are going to talk about today, Aghasur. Aghasur, the very name Agha means sin. So Aghasur means he is like sin personified. And we will learn about who this demon is, what he represents in the course of the class. Okay, so this killing of the demon Aghasur comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 12. So, context is, one day, this is Shukadeva Goswami narrating this pastime of Lord Krishna to Parikshit. So, Shukadeva Goswami says, one day Krishna decided to take his breakfast as a picnic in the forest. Having risen early in the morning, he blew his bugle made of horn and woke all the cowherd boys and calves with its beautiful sound. Then Krishna and the boys, keeping their respective groups of calves before them, proceeded from Vrajabhumi to the forest. So, Krishna one day decided that he will take the breakfast, the first meal of the day, in the forest as a picnic. So he had asked the previous day itself his mother that you please pack some breakfast for me. Me and all the rest of the boys, we are going to have a picnic in the forest. And we will have it there. So Mother Yashoda and all the other mothers of the cowherd boys, she packed their breakfast. Not just some, they packed a lot. Especially mothers, they like to pack a lot of things. They don't want their children to go hungry. So 3 dosas are not enough. There should be at least 10 dosas, right? And she will say, oh, if there is enough, you give to your friends. Let them eat, as if they are coming hungry. No, they are also bringing. But anyways, in a very nice way, in a cloth bag, it was all packed. And she handed this to Krishna. And Krishna called. This is the communication style. No cell phone calls. He will play on his bugle. As if the wake-up call. And all of them got ready. So all the calves. So the Krishna and his friends were in charge of the calves, not the adult cows. Because they were still small boys. So they all the calves, everyone assembled before Krishna's home. They were eagerly looking towards the entrance when Krishna is going to appear. As if the altar is going to open, Krishna is going to appear. In that way, they were eagerly looking because they are so attracted. Even the calves, they cannot live without Krishna. So they are very eager to see Krishna. All the boys, they were eager. They cannot actually sleep because they are very excited to see Krishna the next day. So they cannot really sleep. They are like, sometimes you see even little boys, when there is something big, they will get up before everyone else. And they will say, yes, let's go. Right? In this way, the boys would get up early. And Krishna didn't necessarily have to summon them. They were like ready to go out the door. But as soon as they heard the sound, they ran to the residence of Nanda Maharaj and eagerly awaiting Krishna's arrival. So, at that time, it is said hundreds and thousands of cowherd boys, they assembled. And keeping before them their respective calves. So, each household had a number of cows. And this is real wealth. So, dhanam dhanyam pashuputra labham. Like that it is said. Dhanya means grains, food grains, and pashu, cows, especially cows. Pashu also includes buffaloes, other animals also, but cows especially is the real wealth. Because if you have cows, you get milk, which is called as liquid religion. And from this milk, you can produce other products like ghee, which is essential for performing sacrifices. So human life is meant for tapasya, for performing yajna. Yajna dana tapah karma pavanani manishinaha. So Krishna says in the Gita that yajna, sacrifice, dana, charity, tapaha, austerity, and activities, they purify even the great souls. So no one should give those up. So the cowherd boys, they kept the calves in front of them. It's not that they were running and leaving the calves, okay, you guys can follow us. No. They know their duty. Calves have to be taken care of. So they would keep the calves in front of them. So the boys were very beautiful. And they were equipped with lunch bags, bugles, flutes, and sticks for controlling the calves. And Krishna also came out with his own group of calves. Then all the boys began to sport in the forest in a great playful spirit. This is actual life. The boys are not worried about, okay, today there is exam, I have to study. What will the teacher say? I have not done my homework. They are simple life. They are not going hungry. In fact, it is very pleasing life. The boys are carrying only their lunch bag. Nowadays, you look at students, they carry the bags which are like heavy. Like I see my son often carrying bags to school. It has a laptop, 10-15 books. I can't lift it. Nowadays, they have to roll it like a luggage. They have to roll it. So this is present day situation. But in contrast, you see life in the Vedic times. And all these boys, it is said, although all these boys were already decorated by their mothers with ornaments of kacha, gunja, pearls and gold, when they went into the forest, they further decorated themselves with fruits, green leaves, bunches of flowers, peacock feathers and soft minerals. So, it is not that these people were poor. It is being said the boys, they are being sent to herd the calves, but they were being decorated with gold and pearls. Which mother would put nowadays some gold ornaments or pearls and send the boys alone? Go. We are all afraid. Even keeping those stuff in the home, we are afraid. You have to keep it in a bank locker. But these cowherd men and women, they were not poor by any sense. There is no shortage of gold or pearls. Where there is Krishna, how can there be any shortage? Krishna is the husband of the goddess of fortune. Wherever Krishna is present, his faithful wife, Lakshmi Devi, is present as well. So, these boys were decorated with all these things, but yet they preferred to decorate themselves with fruits, leaves, peacock feathers, and minerals. Minerals means clay and other things found from the ground. They would decorate themselves. So the cowherd boys were very eager to come out and they want to decorate Krishna. Like deity dressing. Every day morning, they would dress Krishna with their own decorations. Not making look him funny, but with lot of love, they would decorate Krishna. Then, that's the first pastime, to decorate Krishna. Then the next pastime will happen. All the cowherd boys used to steal one another's lunch bags. When a boy come to understand that his bag had been taken away, the other boys would throw it away to a more distant place, and those standing there would throw it still farther. When the proprietor of the bag becomes disappointed, the other boy, the proprietor would cry, and then the bag would be returned. So, this is the play that they would do. They would steal one another's lunch bags, including Krishna's. Okay, Krishna is also not saved from that. They would play with him also. Sometimes the cowherd boy will bring buttermilk to Krishna and they will force him to drink. His mouth will be full like this, and then they will do the like that. So they will, and all the buttermilk will fall on Krishna's dress. And they all would laugh. There is no envy there. It is not with the intent of bringing down somebody. But they would play like this. They would throw these lunch bags away. And the proprietor would be like almost about to cry. Like if the mother asks, did you eat your lunch? If there is no lunch bag, what will he do? He wouldn't even know what has been packed. So he would be about to cry, and then the boys would return it. Hey, for this you are about to cry? What nonsense. Like that they would make fun of. So in this way they would be playing. Now sometimes Krishna would go to a somewhat distant place to see the beauty of the forest. So he may take a few of his friends and they will say, let's go check that out. And they will go. And all the other boys, they would notice Krishna has gone ahead. So they would run, aham purvam, that I will touch Krishna first. In this way they will run and try to touch Krishna. Who will touch Krishna first? In this way, they enjoyed life by repeatedly touching Krishna. when Krishna touches somebody, their whole existence, it is like, it is indescribable. Krishna's touch. And the person becomes filled with joy. So the boys would always, they would run and touch Krishna. They would come and embrace Krishna. Everything is centered around Krishna. So they would always be playing. Sometimes they would play their flutes. Sometimes they would look at the bumblebees, and the bumblebees would be making the sound like that. And they would also stand and make that sound like that, imitating the bumblebees. This is a kind of yoga actually. And they would sometimes look at the cranes that are standing by the shores. And they would also sit. The cranes will not fly away, but they will sit like the cranes, meditating very much. Sometimes Krishna, Shri Srinitaya Sachirandan Dev Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Dev Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Sometimes Krishna would dance like the peacocks. And all the boys would also start to dance. Sometimes a bird may fly in the sky and its shadow will be there on the ground, and Krishna will start chasing it. Can I chase it and fly faster or run faster? And all the boys would run in that way. In this way, constant enjoyment. There is no tension, no concerns for anything. Simple life, very simple life. No ulterior motives, no politics, nothing. Just plain enjoyment in the association of Krishna. So, on this day, Krishna had gone, but Sri Balramji had not accompanied Krishna, which is very strange. Because generally whenever Krishna goes, Balramji is ready first to accompany Krishna. But on this day, Balramji was kept home because it was his birthday. So Mother Rohini did not allow Balram to go. Also Krishna did not want Balram to come for this. And our Acharyas, especially Hari Sauri Prabhu, he has described that if Balram had come on this day, he wouldn't have allowed the cowherd boys and the calves to enter into the mouth of Aghasura. He wouldn't allow it. And Hari Sauri Prabhu is explaining that if Balramji had come, he wouldn't allow to kill Aghasura also. Because Balramji is Anantashesha. So Aghasura is his family. So he will not allow a family member to be killed. So Balramji was not there. Krishna wanted to go alone along with the other cowherd boys. So Sri Shukadeva Goswami says, yogis may undergo severe austerities and penances for many births by practicing yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, none of which are easily performed. Anyone have tried those things, they would know. These are not easy to perform. Yet, in due course of time, when these yogis attain the perfection of controlling the mind, they will still be unable to taste even a particle of dust from the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What then can be described about the great fortune of the inhabitants of Vrajabhumi, Vrindavan, with whom the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally lived and who saw the Lord face to face? So there are these great yogis who perform severe austerities, but they don't even get the audience of the Lord. And here these simple cowherd boys, they can go and touch Krishna whenever they want. They can play with Krishna. Sometimes they will play with Krishna and they will have this race, and whoever loses has to carry the opponent. So Krishna sometimes loses, and so the friends say, okay, now you carry me. That is the condition. And Krishna will say, no, I will not carry you. And then all the boys will gang up and say, hey, how can you not carry? That is the condition, you have to carry. And Krishna will say, no, I am the son of Nanda Maharaj. I am the son of the king. And all the boys will say, what? So what? You carry us. And Krishna will say, no, I will not carry. And then all the boys will say, if you won't carry us, then you don't get to play with us. You are banished from the group. Soon Krishna will be about to start to cry. That all the friends have abandoned him. And then the friends will say, so now will you carry? And Krishna will say, yes, I will do. This they are able to do with the Supreme Lord. Who can even imagine the great fortune of these inhabitants of Brajabhumi, with whom Krishna personally lived and who had such pastimes with the Lord? So, Shukadeva Goswami describes at that place, at that time, that there appeared this great demon, Aghasura. So he is saying, there appeared a great demon named Aghasura, whose death was being awaited even by the demigods. The demigods drank nectar every day, but still they feared this great demon and awaited his death. This demon could not tolerate the transcendental pleasure being enjoyed in the forest by the cowherd boys. So this demon Aghasur appeared there. And his death was wished upon by the demigods. Now these demigods, devas, they are controllers of the universe. No small post. To control the wind, to control the sun, to control the fire. Every living entity is dependent on these things. Right? Any one of us can even think about living without the air. Can we even think about living without some heat, fire? Can we even think about living without water? None of these things, but these are all controlled by these devas, demigods. And the demigods drank nectar, amrita. But even these demigods, they were afraid of Aghasur. And they were anxiously waiting, when will this person die? They were always thinking about it. They couldn't even say it. They were that afraid to even say that we want Aghasura to be dead. They can't put up a mic and have a big sammelan to discuss it. They were so afraid of Aghasur. So, Aghasura, who is this personality? Aghasura, Drishtvarbakan Krishnamukhan Aghasuraha Kamsanushishtrasa Baki Bakanujaha Ayam tume sodara nashakrittayor dvayor mamainam sa balam hanishye. Who is this Aghasur? He Kamsanushishta. He is a follower of Kamsa. So it is said that Kamsa defeated all these demons. That's how they became his followers. So Kamsa was even more powerful. And he is Kamsanushishta. He is a follower of Kamsa. And Baki Bakanujaha. He was the younger brother, Anuja, of Baki, that is Putana, and Bakasur. So the younger brother of Putana and Bakasur is Aghasur. Ayam tume sodara nashakrittayor. So he decided that Krishna killed my sister Putana and Bakasur. So I will cause the destruction of not only Krishna, but his entire friends and calves. I am suffering from the loss of my sister. See, the mentality among demoniac people is that they will justify any action that their near and dear did. He is saying that Putana went to the house of Krishna to feed him milk. He is not considering that she went with poison on her breast to kill Krishna. But he is thinking, oh, she just went to feed him milk and he killed her. So he decided, okay, I will kill not only Krishna but all the friends. Why? Why kill all the friends of Krishna? The calculation was that Aghasura is thinking, if somehow or other I can make Krishna and his associate serve as the last offering of sesame and water for the departed souls of my brother and sister, then what will happen? The inhabitants of Vrajabhumi, for whom the boys are the life and soul, will automatically die. If there is no life, there is no need for the body. Consequently, when their sons are dead, naturally all the inhabitants of Vraja will die. So this is why Aghasura is considered as a most sinful demon. He was not content just with killing Krishna. He wanted all the cowherd boys and calves also to die. Why? Because by their death, their parents will suffer unspeakable pain. They cannot even, like when for a parents to lose a child is intolerable. They cannot tolerate that. And if I kill all of them, then their parents, not only the Vraja Gopas and Gopis, but also the cows whose calves will die, they will also die. This is his mentality. So, this Aghasura was a very powerful mystic. So he assumed the form of a giant python. And the dimensions of this python is explained. He was 1 yojana long. 1 yojana means 8 miles. 8 miles long python. And his body was such that his lips, lower lip touched the ground and his upper lip touched the sky. And he was lying with his tongue lying out, his reddish tongue. So all the boys, they come, playing, they come. And the boys are ahead. The calves are first, the boys are following. And they come upon this gigantic Asura, demon lying in the forest. And they are amazed by the sight. They have never seen anything like this. At first, they thought this is a giant mountain that is there in Vrindavan, and it can become a pleasure ground for all our place. But then they stop and take note of the shape of this mountain. And it looks like a serpent to them. It is a serpent, but they have never seen anything like this. So they are describing that what is this? Is this a serpent that is lying? So they all started making noise. So one started wondering, is this even living? Living or dead? And is it lying here to swallow all of us? And they say that the upper lip resembles a cloud reddened by the sunshine, and its lower lip resembles the reddish shadows of a cloud. So upper lip is looking very pinkish, red. So they are thinking, is the sun shining through that? And due to its shadow, the lower surface is also looking reddish. And they start describing, there are the lips, the mouth is open. He had kept his mouth open. They are saying that this looks like mountains, mountain peaks, the lips. And the mountain peaks are there are also its teeth. So they are not able to visualize or comprehend what they are seeing. And they are describing that, the inside is looking very dark, 8 miles long. It is fully dark. So they think, this is a cave that is there. And Aghasura was breathing, and warm, hot air was coming out of his mouth because his inside was full of poisons. And the boys start saying, maybe in the mountain there is a forest fire going on, and that is how this warm air is coming. But it is stinking. So they are thinking, oh, this demon, this giant serpent may have eaten lot of animals. And the flesh is decaying. That is where this terrible smell is coming. But that doesn't prevent them. They are thinking, okay, we will go and explore. See, till now, they wanted, due to the Leela Shakti of the Lord, they had this desire that we want to go and explore a place first and then come and tell Krishna about it. Sometimes boys are like that, They will run ahead and they will see something and they will come back running and say, hey, there is this thing over there. They get special pleasure in that, in describing something. So they wanted this. So they decide to go inside. But they have this fear. Is this a serpent? So some of them are making noise. Hey, Python, get up, like that. And just to make sure, if it moves, they would run away. But they just wanted to try. Okay, but Aghasura was patiently waiting, open his mouth. And all of them decided, okay, we will go. So somebody had a concern. What if this thing swallows us, if we enter in its mouth? So they look upon Krishna at that point. Krishna was following from a distance. And they all look upon Krishna, that it is said, Kshanad aneneti bakari usanmukham. Bakari means Krishna, the enemy of Baka. Bakari usanmukham. They look upon the smiling face of Lord Krishna and they say, what if he wants to swallow us? Our Krishna is with us. No? He will not let us any harm happen to us. We will go inside. He will tear this serpent apart, just like he tore that big crane, Aghasura, apart. So in this way, they were proceeding, but they were looking behind towards Krishna, and they were laughing loudly, clapping. They entered the mouth of the python. And Krishna, he is hearing all this conversation that is happening ahead of him. And he is seeing all these boys enter the mouth of this great demon. And he becomes very concerned. He knows who this is. He immediately recognizes Aghasura. And it was his desire that the boys don't enter this mouth of this great serpent. And he even calls out to his friends, please don't enter. But what happens is that the calves run inside first. And the boys are following. And Krishna is in a big situation. He becomes very concerned that what is going to happen. These boys will be killed as soon as they enter the mouth of this serpent. So Krishna starts thinking, what am I going to do? Standing outside. Krishna decides to run inside. In the meantime, Aghasura was patiently waiting for Krishna to enter, because Krishna is the one he is really after. And so he is patiently keeping his mouth open. And Krishna is not able to tolerate that his friends have entered the mouth of death. No way. It is said here, the word is used is swanam, that my people, my friends, they have entered. I will not let anything happen to them. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Krishna says in the Gita, he asks Arjuna that, Arjuna, you declare to the world that my devotee will never perish. So Arjuna could have asked, why don't you make that promise? Why are you asking me? Krishna would say, see, my words, people may not value it much because I keep telling lies. But when my devotee, you, Arjuna, you make a promise, pratijanihi, kaunteya pratijanihi, you make the pratiknya, you make the vow that Krishna's devotee never perishes, then I will not let anything break my devotee's promise. So this is the love of Krishna. That just by calling out to Krishna, one is protected from all fear. Draupadi was in the assembly hall and her dress was being pulled by Dushasan. Dushasan had the strength of 10,000 elephants. And Draupadi was holding on to her sari. And this Dushasan is pulling on it. And she called out to everyone, to her mighty husbands who are sitting there. They are actually demigods. She called out to every single one of them. No one. She called out to all the elders. No one came to her assistance. Finally, she called out to Krishna, who was not even there. She was not even physically present there. And she called out to Krishna. And immediately, Krishna took the form, Vastravatar. He took the form of the sari. And he protected, he preserved the honor of Draupadi. So Krishna never abandons his devotee. That is one thing we should have faith. Shraddha shabde vishwas kare e sudrida nischay Krishna bhakti korilo sarva karma krita hoy. Shraddha shabde. What is faith? It is this firm determination that by performing service to Krishna, everything will be taken care of. There is he saying, Tumhara man tumhare kaam mein, main apne dham mein. Tumhara man mere naam mein, main tumhare kaam mein. What it says is that if your mind is on your work, then I'll be in my dham, I'll be in my abode. But if your mind is upon my holy name, then I will be present in your work. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One should chant this mantra. Just like the boys, they ran inside the mouth of Aghasura, not because they were confident we are somebody great. Oh, if the serpent starts to close the mouth, we will run out fast. We can outrun the serpent. That's not their thinking. They are thinking, Krishna is here. What will happen to us? Nothing can happen to us. That is confidence. Confidence is confidence in Krishna. By Krishna's grace, everything is possible. So, these boys, they were entering. They had already entered. The calves had already entered. So, Krishna runs behind and enters the mouth of Aghasura. And Aghasura, realizing that Krishna has now entered, he starts to close his mouth. And what Krishna does is that he prevents the breathing of Aghasura. Krishna expands in his form. He becomes large and he closes the breathing process of Aghasura, and Aghasura starts to choke. And Aghasura tries his very best. He moves around and here, and he tries to expand also. He expands even bigger just to breathe. But Krishna prevents that by becoming bigger. And Aghasura is choked helplessly. And soon, Aghasura falls dead because his life air, prana, breaks through his head. And he falls down dead. And Krishna looks into the body of Aghasura. And all the cowherd boys and calves are all lying dead because of the poisonous atmosphere inside Aghasura's body. And Krishna is full of potencies. Krishna just glances over the dead calves and cowherd boys. He brings them back to life. Then he walks out with all these cowherd boys and calves. Not even their dress was spoiled. Their lunch bags, they were not spoiled. Nothing was spoiled. Just how they were before they walk out. And Krishna comes out. There is a glaring effulgence. That is Aghasura's soul. The soul of Aghasura was hovering in the air like a bright jyoti. It was illuminating the 10 directions. And as soon as it was waiting for Krishna to come out, as soon as Krishna came out, the effulgence entered into the body of Krishna. So it looks like Sayujya Mukti, impersonal liberation. But later on, Shukadeva Goswami says that Aghasura achieved what is known as a personal liberation, known as Sarupya Mukti. How did Aghasura get this benediction? Not impersonal liberation, but personal liberation. Sarupya means same form. He became an associate of the Lord in the spiritual world. And the Acharyas have explained that because the boys, that is the friends of Krishna, wanted to enjoy in the body of Aghasura. They thought this is a giant cave. We will go and play in that soft surface. That is the tongue of Aghasura. They were jumping on that. This is so soft. So they were deriving some pleasure. So Aghasura, unknowingly, he does service to the devotees. So due to that, he gets a personal liberation, Sarupya Mukti. Just like Putana came with the intent of killing Krishna. She smeared poison on her breast. But Krishna first took the poison, then he took the milk, and then he took her life, in that order. Because she gave some milk to Krishna, Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam jigam shayat apitadva asadvi. So, tene labhyam. It is said that Aho Bhakiyam, even though Putana, Bhaki is Putana, even though Putana came with the intent of killing Krishna, because Lebe Gatim, she obtained the greatest result because she gave something to Krishna. That is, she nursed him. For that reason, she got the post of a mother in the spiritual world. Then what to speak of the ladies of Vrindavan who gave everything to Krishna? So if you give something to Krishna, you are never the loser. Krishna will repay you much times beyond the wildest imagination. Not that the devotees are after that. The devotees don't expect anything from Krishna also. But Krishna never forgets. That is why he is called as Achyuta. He never falls down. He never falls on his promise. He will never fail his devotees. So, in this way, Aghasura is killed. Now, what does this Aghasura represent? That is what we began this class. So, in the Chaitanya Shikshamrita, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he explains, the sinful mentality to do violence to others is represented by Aghasura. This tendency must be removed. It is one of the offenses. In Krishna Samhita, he writes more. Nrsham sattvam prachandatvam Aghasura swarupakam shashtaparado rupoyam vartate pratibandakaha. Aghasura, the personification of intolerance and cruelty, is the sixth obstacle. Due to a lack of compassion for the living entities, there is a possibility that one's attachment will gradually diminish because compassion cannot remain separated from attachment. The basis of compassion for the living entities and devotion to Krishna is the same. Krishna Bhakta means one is compassionate. One is not interested in only one's own upliftment. Jive daya Krishna nam sarva dharmasar. One should have jivadaya, one should have compassion to all living entities, not just human beings, all living entities. And Krishna Nam, one should chant the holy names. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying the basis of compassion for the living entities and devotion to Krishna is the same. So if one is a devotee of Krishna, then he will be compassionate to all living entities. One cannot be separate from the other. Why is that? Because one realizes everyone is a child of Krishna. So one extends that compassion to all living entities. One cannot see anyone separated from Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. To see the living entity as part and parcel of Krishna. And if one has love for Krishna, one has love for God, he will have love for all living entities. It doesn't matter what religion, Hindu, Muslim, it doesn't matter. These are temporary designations. Real love of God. Real religion means to love God. And if you love God, then you will love every child of God. There is no possibility of seeing in terms of this religion, that religion, these are my people, they are not my people. No, everyone is Krishna's. I am Krishna's and Krishna is mine. Right? So, this is the basis. I will end here. Are there any questions or comments we can try to answer? Any questions, comments? Yes, Prabhu.
Few questions. What was the form of Aghasura before he took snake form? And also, could he see everything entering, or was he also maybe perceiving through some mystic power? And then, so he is also snake form in the spiritual world now.
He doesn't have a snake form in the spiritual world. He doesn't have a snake form. This was a form he assumed. So, the Acharyas have explained that Kamsa summoned Aghasura to his court. And Aghasura was residing in Mathura in the human form. But because he was also a great mystic, he took on this form of a giant python. Now, could he see all the boys entering? I don't know the answer to that. But what I have seen is Shri Srinithaya Sachinanda Dev Bhagavan Ki Jai. What I have seen by personal experiment is that I can eat with my eyes closed. No? Have you tried it? It goes right in. You don't need to say, where is the mouth? It goes in. Huh? Amazing, no? So Aghasura could perceive all the boys entering. Yeah. Oops. Any other questions? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So, thank you. As part of the series of demons in Vrindavan and the anarthas they represent, we are doing a series of dramas as well. So, this pastime of the killing of Aghasura and the next pastime, that is Brahma Vimohan Leela, the bewilderment of Lord Brahma, those will be presented in a drama on the 7th of December. So please mark your calendars. December 7th, there will be a drama portraying these two pastimes. Why these two pastimes together? Because they are closely connected. It happens as a sequence of events, one after another. As soon as the killing of Aghasura happens, Brahma Vimohan Leela happens. How? We will learn that in the drama. So the next Sunday's class is on Brahma Vimohan Leela. The bewilderment of Lord Brahma. And then the drama will be portrayed on the 7th of December, depicting these two pastimes. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki.
I have a question for you.
नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते